Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Book Controversy. So first of all, you probably see this in my hair, and that's because I have to leave in 30 minutes, and whenever I leave the house I like my bangs to be bouncy. But I just read finish this book, Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I just read finish the book and I'm so full of emotions ranging from happy, sad, mad, and I just really needed to give my review on it. And I didn't really want to take out my roller because I do want to have bouncy bangs when I go out. So you guys are just gonna have to watch this video with the roller in my hair. And the reason I'm so okay with it is probably because hardly anyone watches my videos. So let's get to it. This book is about a boy named August Pullman, and he has, I don't think it's okay, so the book makes sure to stray from the word deformed, but essentially his face is deformed, and it follows him as he tries to integrate into school life. So he has been homeschooled his entire life, so this is his first time going to school. So it follows him and his struggles to make friends, to fit in, to try to get a good reputation with his fellow schoolmates. And it also touches on bullying that he faces with his friend Jack. Yeah, Jack is a really cool kid. And it also follows the lives of other people. So this book essentially is broken down into different sections. So hold on, if I can just find it. Okay, so you see, part 1 is August, and that's the name of the character, the main character. And the second part, if I can just find it, the second part is written from Via's perspective. So Via is August's sister. So it's written from many different characters' perspectives, like August, Via, his friends' perspectives, Via's boyfriend's perspective, and everything is just the fact that it was written from so many different people's perspectives gives it a really sort of like a bird's eye view of what is happening in totality. It's just so brilliantly written. I love the writing style of it. I loved how every character that was written was so unique and different from each other. And the thing is that all the characters are written in such a relatable way, and you come to empathize with them a lot. Like with August, I guess you can sympathize with him, and Via as well, but you can also empathize with all their situations that comes from dealing with August's appearance, like his weird appearance. And it just really shows you how difficult it can be to be within this circle of August's close people. Yes. So, as usual, I'm going to be talking about the characters and what I liked and did not like about them. So the first one will be August. He is our main character. He is, how do I say this? He is a really sad boy, and he is the youngest. And the thing about the youngest child is that they normally have this mindset that everything should go their way. But I think for August, it is more amplified because of his facial appearance. So he thinks that because he has his appearance, he suffers so much because of it. Therefore, at home, where people know about his appearance, he should be let off easy for the things that he does. And he rarely thinks about how his actions affect others. And in a way, I can kind of empathize with him because he is struggling a lot. He does face bullying in his school. He faces friends backstabbing him. He has to constantly endure people looking at him like he's a monster, and he has to endure taunts from other people. But I feel that maybe he should be able to how do I say this? He should be able to empathize with those around him more. And he feels that his facial deformities make him more important than his sister Via. It's not explicitly stated that he feels this way, but you can kind of get the gist from his recounts of things versus Via's recounts of things. So you can see that he sort of places himself on a higher pedestal at the start because of his facial deformities. But to me, although I can empathize with him, reading the book is sort of irked me because we also get to read Via's perspective and see how it affects Via as well, having a brother with facial deformities. And it sort of makes you feel like August is being really immature and childish. But then you have to remember that August is only like what, 10 years old, 5th grade? I have no idea how old 5th graders are in America, but I assume that will be 10 years old, I think. So I guess in a way you can empathize with him and maybe sympathize with him, but at the same time that part of his character just didn't really sit right with me. And before I continue, I would just like to point out the fact that even though I see flaws in characters, I feel like flaws are what make a book, you know, like flaws in the characters are what makes a book. So I've been thinking a lot about how I criticize characters and how it might come off as if I want all of the characters in books to be perfect, but the truth is that I really value flaws in characters because it really makes a book go wow. So yeah, just keep that in mind while I continue dissing the rest of the characters in this review and in my future reviews. So the next character I'm going to be talking about is Via, who is August's older sister. So the thing about Via is that in August's perspective, she actually seems like a really understanding older sister. But then when it comes to her perspective, you get to see that she's really going through a lot and that it takes so much of her to be understanding of August's situation and for her to restrain her feelings. And she has to endure her parents constantly neglecting her just for August. And I know that August has facial deformities, but it is kind of sad how they neglect Via. So it really makes you, you know, sympathize with her, make you feel sorry for her, make you feel like she deserves more than she's getting, you know. But kudos to her, she really manages to manage her emotions really well. And one line that really struck me in this book from Via's perspective, it was, I think she said, it was, it's not quote unquote, but she said something along the lines of, and then, you know what, let me find the line. Okay, I found a line, and it is that Mom took his temperature, brought him some hot tea, and assumed the August's mom role again. Via's mom, who had come out for a little while, was put away. The thing is that the reason why I sympathize with Via is the fact that she does not think that her mother is her mother, in a sense. She feels neglected by her mother because while her mother is busy dealing with August, which is majority of the time, Via does not get attention to the point that Via feels like her mother isn't her own. And you really sympathize with her, you really feel angry for her, and you really just want everything for her. Which brings me to her parents, which I understand is hard to deal with a son with facial deformities and with emotional problems that is again not explicitly stated but evident. You still shouldn't neglect your daughter. You shouldn't neglect your daughter. You shouldn't be expecting her to do everything herself. You shouldn't make her feel the need to hide the fact that she's sad from you. You shouldn't need to have it come to a point where you guys get into an argument before you guys understand what your daughter is feeling. Okay, maybe I don't understand, but I can imagine how hard it must be for two people to raise a child that is going through so much, to homeschool them. But you can't just neglect your other child for that one single child with issues, you know? It's just not fair. And if you are not capable of equally dividing your time and love between two different children, then what was the point in having two different children to begin with? I know that August's appearance wasn't part of the equation, but if you are not ready for such things as parents, and if you're not willing to sacrifice time, then they make me so angry, you know. For the next character I'm talking about, there are a lot of characters I want to talk about in this book, and the next character is Julian. Julian is the big bully, the most annoying little kid in this book. He has no sense of sympathy, empathy. I don't know, this might sound harsh, but he has no heart. He's just so annoying and so cold, heartless, ruthless, cruel, and he advances the plot, but annoying. Plain annoying. And the last character I want to talk about is Jack. Jack plays a vital role in August being more acceptable to the whole concept of school. But something does happen in the middle of the book and they fall apart, and that will really, 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 really anger you if you read this book. Like how it really, really, really angered me. And I guess I can sort of understand because he is such a young child like August, but at the same time, the words that he said are just really harsh, really harmful, really cruel. And at that point in the book, I really thought that he was almost exactly like Julian. But he does redeem himself, I guess. But still, if you read it, you know what I'm talking about. You know why he is capable of igniting such anger within a person. It's just, yeah. So now I'm going to go into the spoiler section. So if you haven't read this book, you can leave the video now. Thank you for watching. And yes, the first thing I want to say is that Daisy did not deserve to die. I bawled literal tears on the train. I had no tissue. I wasn't wearing a long sleeve. I just used the back of my hand and I wiped my face. I was just bawling, and it was disastrous because it was peak hour and there were many people staring at me, but I just couldn't help it because Daisy was dead. And my heart just exploded into a million of pieces, and it's still not recovered, it's still not healed. I don't think I'll ever heal from reading that. But yes, the other thing I would like to talk about is that, how do I say this? This book was a really hard read for me because I have been bullied in primary school, but it was never to such an extent. And I guess it made me realize how lucky I was, in a sense, for the fact that even though I was bullied, it wasn't as bad of an experience as August had in this book. And yeah, my heart just really felt for him, you know. Another thing I would like to talk in detail about is how Julian said that if he were August, he would kill himself. And that was a really mean thing to say. Now that just really hurt me, and it was almost as if I was August himself hearing that. And I really didn't expect that from Julian at that point of the story. And although he does give his reasoning from his own perspective after that, it just doesn't seem right still for him to have said that. And he's a kid and he makes mistakes, but I feel like the way August forgave him was just too easy. There should have been more drama there. Okay, so I would like to say more and I have a lot more to say, but I have to go. I have to get this thing out and I have to go. So thank you for listening to this mess of a review. Yes, Cleo? Sorry, my cat. So thank you for listening to this mess of a review, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Say bye-bye!